Barcelona against Bayern Munich. It wasn't 8-2. It wasn't 8-2, so that's okay, I guess. But Barcelona failed to register a shot in the first half and had 0 shots on frame in the whole game. And per Dermot Corrigan, by the way, whistles around Camp Nou as Gavi and Demir came in for Sergi Roberto and Busquets, which tells you a lot. And then Gerard Piqué at the end was just saying, listen, like, we just had a bunch of kids out there. This is who we are. A very sort of defeatist comment from Barcelona, and rightly so, I guess. Off and on the pitch, they have so many issues. And Bayern Munich, the complete opposite. It doesn't matter what season they're in. You know that they're going to produce and they're going to deliver, especially because of Robert Lewandowski and Thomas Müller. Let's begin with you, James Benge, since you started with Ronald Koeman, etc. Just how bad is this for Barcelona?
It's bad, but it's not Koeman's fault. This is the sort of like result that Bayern Munich get against the mid-ranking teams in their Champions League group. And just look at that team. And, you're mentioning people come off the bench, and I am, I'm sure we're all the same. I'm Googling these players as they come on. Who are you? Are you here for the Barcelona game? Is that what we're doing?
La Masia graduates. Yeah, look at that.
That's a meme.
This team is very quickly devolving to sort of Pedri, some De Jongs and scrubs. And, there's moments, isn't there, where you see Jordi Alba look up and he spent years in Champions League games. He sort of looks up and where's Messi? And now it's like, is that Luke De Jong on the Barcelona team? Sergio, I've been watching a lot of Ted Lasso, so maybe this is just... Sergio Busquets is starting to remind me of Roy Kent.
Yeah.
Like a nice Roy Kent. It's all there, but he can't really do it anymore.
Yeah.
So this is what happens to that sort of team against who I didn't think were great, by the way. Bayern, they finished some lucky chances.
Yeah, they did.
Their XG was sort of padded by the number of times that a ball bounced off a Barcelona post or a Barcelona defender and into Lewandowski's pass. They were fine, and Barcelona were just probably what they are, and Koeman will pay the price. It's not his fault.
Well, it's funny you say that because there was a quote from Gerard Piqué afterwards. He said, "Es lo que hay, somos lo que somos," and that translates into "It is what it is. We are who we are." And that's pretty much as candid as you can get. What you see is what you're going to get. We don't necessarily have that special player anymore, and we saw that Jordi Alba photo. And looking up at the heavens and just sighing. He's probably looking around like, where all my friends go? Like, I don't have any more friends on the team, and I don't have anybody that can bail us out. And it was a pretty dismal performance. And to your point about Luke De Jong, and we made fun of it prior to in our preview of this match, he's a Europa League player. And that's how I see him. And it's funny is that he had success on Sevilla because Sevilla are one of the best teams from hitting in balls from wide areas. Barcelona don't do that. Don't do it. It's not in their DNA. They like to keep the ball on the ground and break you down, as much as they can and possession by death and to open you up that way. Luke De Jong's not that player. So you just kind of wonder about some of their signings and what they're trying to do. Obviously, their financial situation, I think, is dictating a lot of these decisions. But Barcelona have now lost 3 straight home matches in Europe by a combined score of 10-1. They lost to Juventus 3-0. They lost to PSG 4-1 when Kylian Mbappe lit up Serginho Dest. That's what I remember about that game. And they lost to Bayern Munich 3-0. It doesn't look like it's going to get any better. And I said in my preview that I thought that Barcelona would get third in this group, and it's looking like that could be a good possibility, especially because Benfica got a hard-fought draw against Dinamo Kiev in the other match in this group.
Yeah, no, it's a very good guess, a very good opportunity to really think that Barcelona will probably not get out of this group. Of course, it's very early, so they can do it. I do wonder, though, and obviously because here's the thing, James, you said something that it's not Koeman's fault, and I'm with you, like $1.5 billion in debt. That's not Koeman's fault. Messi being dissatisfied and having to leave because the contract couldn't be negotiated. That's not Koeman's fault. However, I see a very Dutch influence here, obviously Memphis Depay, etc., when clearly the issues are at the back as well. At the very least, if you can't solve everything, at least understand that the defensive side of Barcelona is an absolute mess. And Koeman, that's not the system that he plays. He likes to go forward and attack, but he has to see what's in front of him. He has to see the cake that he has baked. This is not a Barcelona system that's going to fit his philosophy. Shouldn't he be, James Benge, a little bit more flexible, I guess is the word that I'm looking for? Or is it just simply that he just doesn't have the tools to do it anyway?
I think you're right that, well, it's not the best. I didn't look at that team and think this is the best way of exploiting the talents of the footballers you have available to you. I mean, it was a sort of back three, right? But Sergio Roberto was the wing back. That doesn't, you know, when you have someone like Serginho Dest, who would probably be relatively well suited to that role. And I mean, I just don't think having more of those Barcelona centre backs on the pitch is going to make you better defensively. It doesn't allow you to keep the ball more effectively. It doesn't, you know, you're not putting pressure on the Bayern defence and forcing them to defend a little bit deeper. Yeah, he could have done better. And I don't think you can mitigate him. And I probably was a bit guilty initially of mitigating him a bit too much for this. It's so strange because this is sort of huge problems coming home to roost that he is not responsible for. And he's, you know, I mean, Des has just thrown into our chat, if Koeman isn't the right man to lead them, who on earth would want to lead them through this? This is...
I got two names for you.
Go ahead.
Xavi and Iniesta. Like, I feel like it's
as a partnership.
Partnership. They come back and they co-manage.
They could probably play 20 minutes as well at the end of the game as well. But this is exactly, by the way, why Xavi was waiting, because he was offered this job and he was like, nope, no, thank you. I don't want to jump in a house of flyer. I want to just wait and see what happens. And obviously, but you make a good point. But okay, Xavi and Iniesta were great. Who else could do this? Antonio Conte? There's no way that he's coming in this thing. Who's going to take care of this mess? Who is?
Imagine telling Conte, you know, he comes in with his budgetary demand.
Yeah.
How much money do I have to spend?
Yeah.
Could you sell 200 million?
Yeah. Conte enters the meeting and he's like, by the way, I left Tottenham discussions because they're a mess. I left Inter because they're a mess. What do you have, Laporta? Well, don't you guess what? It's a mess. It's an absolute mess. To your point, Des Norris, in the question, if Koeman isn't the right man to lead them, who is? I don't know. I think I agree with Jimmy partly because it has to be somebody that understands the Barcelona culture, at least. And of course, Koeman knows that. But Xavi and Iniesta as a partnership, the more I think about it, the more I like it, Jimmy Conrad. I don't know. Would it ever happen? That's the key.
I think Luis Enrique, if you could coax him to come out of the Spanish national team job and have him come back. The
tiki-taka comes back big time in that situation.
Potentially, you know, obviously you could float it by Pep. He'd just laugh you off. But, you know, you'd look at some former managers that you've had some success under. I really like what Jose Bordalas has done since leaving Getafe, going to Valencia. Valencia is now close to the top of the table in La Liga. I'd be keeping my eyes on him. I don't think he would leave. He just joined Valencia. But in terms of maybe a future hire, there's something about him that I think speaks to me. I mean, they've gotten Quique Setien. You know, they've gone outside of some of their normal bubble choices, I'd say.
They've tried everything.
They've tried everything. And I think there's something about Bordalas that I really like. But we'll see if that ever comes to fruition. I think Koeman knew what he was walking into in this particular situation. He knew it was going to be a dumpster fire. He knew that he was inheriting this big elephant in the room that was the Messi situation. And he had to have known, or at least been slightly aware of the fact that Barcelona had some dire financial consequences. So he said he has a good relationship with Laporta, the president, and I'm sure they're both in there going like, what the hell are we going to do? We got no idea. Let's just play the kids and see what happens. And at some point, I think you just have to play the kids and hope that they get better soon because they just don't have the same type of quality.
Yeah, I'm laughing because James Benge, you have a thought on who should take over.
Jimmy keeps saying, play the kids. We need someone that plays attacking football. It's Arsene Wenger.
Well,
he would enjoy having. In fact, the less money he had, the happier he'd be.